Hey everybody, Doug8798 here. This is my review of the 1997 Spawn film, which I've been trying to watch and review for 3 years now. It was on YouTube 3 years ago, but it got removed. The account that had the movie on here got removed, and I've just been trying to find this movie online, several places to watch it. Every time it was on television, I was always busy doing something else, so I never got to catch it. Finally got to watch it again. It was just recently on. It came on at 11 o'clock and ended at 1:30. And this right here is, in my opinion, one of the most overlooked and underrated comic book films of all time, man. You don't know how awesome this film, I guess, is not as good. I think it's as good as the stuff we see today. But I guess this film is not as good as the stuff we see today, like MCU, TMNT 2014, and Dragon Ball Evolution, which in my opinion are the best stuff today. But this film right here, this film right here, for the time it was released, it was awesome. It was awesome. Um, it was awesome, and this film right here was a comic book come to life. This film right here got me into Spawn. Here are the Spawn comics, which I'm going to talk about in another film. These are the Spawn comics, which I'm going to talk about in another film. But right now, the movie. I first saw this film when it was released in 1997. I think that I either saw it in 1997 or I saw it in '98 on VHS. I think it was VHS. I think it was VHS. I can't remember whether I saw it in theaters or on VHS or actually both. Well, anyway, I saw this film in the late '90s, and I've been a huge fan of this film ever since. And just like with Mortal Kombat Annihilation, and of course Batman and Robin, up until Nolan's films were released, I had eagerly awaited what was supposed to be the sequel to the 1997 Spawn film, but it never happened. They've been trying to get a sequel or reboot. They've been Todd McFarlane has been trying to write a script, come up with a script for a new film, but he's yet to get it green lighted by any studio. I hope he gets to make that film, and I hope it's as good as, or maybe even better than this film was. Like I said, this film was awesome. This film had everything. This film had a complex story. While changing a lot of things, it was very true to its source material, whereas most comic book films today stay completely away from the source material. This film, this film followed the source material, even though they changed a lot of stuff and lightened the tone of adaptation. This film was dark, despite the PG-13. This film was dark and scary, despite the PG-13 rating. This film was also hilarious. John Leguizamo, who portrayed one of the main antagonists of the film, the Violator, he was scary, cynical, and just downright hilarious, man. I still laugh whenever he when I watch the film today. And the film had lots of kick-ass action and some awesome special effects. I guess they're not good compared to what we got today, but from at that time, what you were seeing, and the special effects, in my opinion, are still good, especially the Spawn sequences. The Hell sequences, I guess, are a little dated, but they're still awesome to watch. The sequences where Spawn was in hell. I guess, yeah, they look like a badass computer game, which is why people don't like it today. But the special effects look awesome, and especially the transformation scene when Al Simmons becomes Spawn is so epic. And Spawn diving off buildings with the red cape, this stuff was just awesome. And like I said, the action sequences were awesome. Some awesome, exciting gunfights. You have the cool gunfight in the building there with Jessica, Spawn, and the other main antagonist, Win. One of the other major antagonists, Win. Then of course you got the ending sequences. Then of course you got the fight scene with one of Malbolgia's demons in the slums. Another epic fight scene. And then of course you got the final climactic battle between Spawn and Malbolgia in Hell, and then Spawn and the Violator, and then Spawn the Violator, where Spawn chops off Violator's head, and Violator melts and retreats back hell, like I said, man, just some awesome stuff. The only thing I hate is that Michael Jai White is a trained martial artist, and this film doesn't really get to fully utilize his skills. And this is probably one of his best roles. I wish they would have had some of those hell spawns you add at the end fight, fight, send some of them to fight, Al. But yeah, this film was awesome. All performances were great. John Leguizamo as the Violator was good. I think his name is Winston. I think his name is um I think this film is I think I think his name's not Winston. What was his name? I'm looking it up right here. His name was Nicole Winsome as Colleges Colleges Col, Col, Cagliostro. Cagliostro. I can't pronounce his name. The mentor, the Spawn, the mentor, the Spawn. He in this film. This was his last role, Nicole Williamson. This was his last role. He gave an awesome performance as Calistro, Spawn's mentor, and 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 Martin Sheen was awesome as Jason Wynn. Um, Teresa Teresa Randall was awesome as Wanda Spawn's fiance. D.B. Sweeney was awesome as Terry Fitzgerald, which who is Al Simmons' best friend. The motion capture, the specialist CGI of Malbolgia, in my opinion, despite being dated, was good. And Frank Welker, as always, was awesome as the voice. Um, 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 so yeah, like I said, the performances were awesome, and then of course the story, great complex story, and like I said, was actually true to the comic book. They just changed several details, such as Thomas Fitzgerald, an African American in the comics, is Caucasian here. Todd McFarlane said he did that so that this film would appeal to everyone. It wouldn't look like this film just appealed to African Americans. Um, they alter Caligustro's origins a little. They also altered Al Simmons's origins a little in the comics. I think he works for the CIA. He works for a different agency in the film. Um, I think in the comics, him and Wanda were already married, and I don't think they ever had a child. I don't think they had a child in the comics. Whereas here in the film, I think he was supposed to be engaged to Wanda. He was supposed to be engaged to Wanda, but he died before that, and then later on you see the kid. So yeah, you can see the kid sighing. So yeah, and then also Spawn's murder is also different in the comics. Here is when in the comic books, according to Wikipedia, it's a guy named Blood. It's a guy from the Young Blood comic book series, another Image comic book series named Kane, who murdered Al Simmons. Al Simmons. The plot of this film is that Jason Wynn wants to release a deadly virus on the wants to release a deadly virus that can kill that's going to kill a lot of people. That can kill a lot of people. Al Simmons. Al Simmons. While on a mission, no, notices Jason Wynn's plan and prepares to kill him, but one of Jason Wynn's agents kills named Jessica kills Spawn, kills Al Simmons, and Al Simmons awakens in hell, and Malbolgia promises Al Simmons that if he becomes the Hell Spawn, he becomes the Hell Spawn and join his Hell army, he can return to Earth. He can return to Earth and see his fiancee Wanda. See his fiancee Wanda. He agrees. He agrees to this so he can get even. So he can get even with Jason Wynn for killing him. With Jason Wynn for killing him. Jason Wynn for killing him, and then he later finds himself in a slums with some kids Calistro, who tries to recruit him to their side. Al Simmons blows him off. Al Simmons blows him off. Blows him off. Then Violator tries to recruit Simmons to his side. Um um Violator meets up with Jason Wynn's character, meets up with Jason Wynn, and install something install something to his heart that if that that will protect him from assassination, because if someone kills him, it will spread a deadly virus and kills everyone. Al Simmons later sees his fiance Wanda, but she's married to his best friend. She's married to his best friend Fitzgerald. Fitzgerald married to his best friend Fitzgerald, and already has a daughter named Cyan, now wants to get Wanda back, and wants to get even with Jason Wynn. Jason Wynn at one party. Spawn crashes the party and prepares to kill Jason Wynn, but Jessica intervenes, and Al Simmons kills her by shooting her in an awesome and then in the slums he fights one of Malbolgia's hell spawned demons, and it is here he decides to take the fight to Malbolgia. He decides to take the fight to Malbolgia, Mal Malbolgia Malbolgia and Jason Wynn, and um before he can kill Jason Wynn, he decides not to, after learning that if he kills Jason Wynn, he'll kill his daughter Cyan, after Violator tricks Al Simmons into killing Wanda um Wanda Al Simmons. Spawn prepares to kill Jason Wynn, but then Malbolgia intervenes. Spawn refuses to join Malbolgia's army, so Malbolgia sentences him to death, and then Malbolgia fights. Then Spawn fights Malbolgia in a climactic battle, and beats him. Then it all seems to be over until Violator attacks Spawn in his demon form, and Spawn kills him by, well, not kills him, but defeats him by cutting off his head, and Malbolgia retreats back to Hell. Malbolgia retreats back to Hell, but Spawn gives him a message telling him that Violator retreats back to Hell, and Spawn gives him a message telling him that Malbolgia, his boss, he's next. So yeah, that's the story. Really complex stuff, and like I said, this was an underrated film. Like I said, a lot of people don't like this film because it changed several aspects of the comic books, and it wasn't rated R like the studio wanted it to be. But I hear the director's cut is rated R, so I may have to pick that up sometime. Then of course, critics of course didn't like the film. The only critic I know who liked the film was the late Roger Ebert. But I remember I saw the episode with him and Sequel where Sequel couldn't stand the film. Sequel couldn't stand the film, but like I said, this film just gets overlooked because of its effects and because it changed several stuff from the comic books. But I thought this was one of the best comic books, one of the best comic book films of all time. Like I said, this comic book film actually followed the comics. Most comic book films, especially today, disregard the source material. Completely disregard the source material. This one tried to follow it a little, despite changing several stuff about it. And despite lighting the tone of adaptation, making it a PG-13 film, this film was still pretty dark and still pretty violent. Man, still pretty violent. Like I said, this was my review of Spawn. I'm going to be talking more about this film. I'm going to be talking more about the comics, and I'm going to be talking about the upcoming reboot film that Todd McFarlane is still trying to get greenlighted. All right, Doug out.